Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris and the Nimnicht Chevrolet Sports Update. A win by the Jaguars last week in a most unlikely fashion, I think really shows a lot of what they can be going in the future. Calais Campbell said it's a big kind of win because you got to learn how to win those games. Malik Jackson talked about how important that is because you're not going to win these games, particularly in the playoffs. You just got to fight and have that grit that Tom Coughlin talks about. And I thought Doug Marrone's comment after the game was interesting, that in the overtime period he could feel the attitude on the sideline shift with the Jaguars, as in, hey, we're going to win this football game. Instead of, as Blake Bortles said, if that happened to us 2 years ago, we had folded up and disappeared. You know, Bortles is good, magnificent at times, and then bad. In fact, first time in NFL history, it seems, that a quarterback has thrown 2 interceptions inside 2 minutes, and his team still ended up winning the football game. That's how good their defense is. And that's how I think they have changed kind of the culture and the mentality. You can talk all you want about how bad the Jaguars have been, how non-competitive they've been, how irrelevant as a franchise that they've been in the AFC South and in the NFL in general. But this is a different mindset. This isn't a systemic organizational issue that so many other bad NFL teams have. This is a culture shift that has been precipitated by Calais Campbell and Malik Jackson and Telvin Smith and Paul Puzzlesny. New guys meshing with holdovers who understand what it takes to play and win in the NFL. And I think that that's something that when you look at it, you know, you can understand that it is it's a consistency that you've got to have. I don't think they had that in the first half against the Chargers. I think they were dancing around thinking they were going to win that game, and then all of a sudden the second half, somehow the leadership on that team realized, look, you got to perform consistently in order to win in the NFL, and that's how they pull that out. Important? I think it's incredibly important. But now the Jaguars, with 6-3 record, have 7 games remaining, and in 4 of those games they're going to be such a solid favorite that to not get to the playoffs would be their own fault. I mean, it would be kind of ridiculous. They're almost a lock to get there at this point. The only question is it going to come down to that last game at Tennessee, whether they win the division or whether they end up being a wild card or whether they get in at all? They're certainly hoping that it doesn't come down to New Year's Eve in Nashville. I'm Sam Kavaris, and that's the Nimnicht Chevrolet Sports Update.